Today is November 11th, Zone 6B in New York, and I'm going to prune my one red Lebanese, one Violet de Bordeaux, and the second red Lebanese. So this is very easy because, as you can see, it has like a glass champagne structure. And these are the nodes here, as you can see. So I'm going to cut it in between the two nodes here and also on the other side. And I'm going to winterize it with straw and tarp and things like that. I'll winterize it in a few days. And the same thing with this Violet de Bordeaux. You know, you could live it, all three of them, you could live them just the way they are. But in New York, you need to winterize them, and you know, you just can't leave them like that. And here's a little figgy here. I just snapped a little figgy. As you can see, it's all nice and dry. There's no sap coming out. So again, with the Violet de Bordeaux, what I will do, I will come down and I see all these nodes here. I'm going to cut it about 4 nodes from the main trunk in between the two nodes, because there will be some dieback. So we'll cut it here, and the same on the other side. Again, if you lived in a much warmer climate, a much warmer zone, let's say zone 7, 8, 9, I would cut it much higher up, you know, and I would keep both branches at the same height. Now this one is a little bit different because it has, as you can see, has 2 main branches and a little one. But the little one has a nice size. You know, it's nice and thick, not as thick as these branches. And I will do the same thing. Here are the nodes. I hope you can see the nodes. Here's one, here's another one, another one, another one. But that's where the future growth will happen. So I will cut it in between these 2 nodes, 3 nodes higher from the main trunk. The same with this one. This one I will do the same thing. So here's one node, another node, another node, and another node. So I'm gonna leave 1, 2, 3 nodes, 4 nodes, and I'm gonna cut it in between the 4th and the 5th. I will prune it right there. And this one, you know, it has a nice width, you know, so I can use this cutting as a cutting. And I'm going to go in between the 3rd and the 4th node. I'm going to prune it right in between, again, because of the dieback. And these are the easy ones. This is a snap. Here's the challenging one. This is a Mavro Basilico or Mavro Basilica. First of all, this isn't ready yet. As you can see, I pulled a little figgy. Look at this, there's sap coming out. So this isn't ready. But as you can see, it has a much different structure as compared to the red Lebanese and the Violet de Bordeaux. So this is definitely growing like a bush. So what I would do, I would remove all of these, you know, lower branches and also all the little ones in there, and I would leave this branch, that branch, and one of those branches, preferably, you know, that one. So 1, 2, 3 branches. All the rest of them, they're going to go, and I'm going to prune them very low. I'm going to get some of the dirt off. I'm going to remove the dirt, and I'm going to prune it very tightly to the rhizome where the roots are. And I'm going to leave it open for a couple of days for it to harden up, and then I'm going to push the dirt back. But so there's a node there, 2nd node, 3rd node, 4th node. So I'm going to cut it between the 3rd and the 4th. You can see 1st node, 2nd node, 3rd node, 4th node. I'm going to cut it in between the 3rd and the 4th node right here. Same with the other one. And folks, Look at all these cuttings. Yum, yum, yum. From this tree, just from this tree, I'm gonna get about 60 to 70 cuttings. Look at it. This is beautiful. And again, I grow this for cuttings and of course for fruit. Mavro Basilico. Here, this one is a tree that I purchased or given by a young man named Milo from that I met on Facebook, one of the Facebook groups, and he is the admin. I think. I hope I'm not making it up. He's the admin of the group for figs in Long Island. Perhaps I'm wrong, but anyway, but he's reputable, trustworthy, and fine young man. So he gave this to me. This is an unknown, but he said to me, it's a prolific white producer of white figs. So as you can see, it grew to be about 7 feet high. This is the first year that we had it. He produced one fig this year, but it's a first year fig. This is my magnolia. Again, zone 6B, right? So what I would do, I would remove all of these branches and I would prune them very, very tightly to the main trunk. So 1, 2, 3, 4, I would prune them. And this one, I would prune it, as you can see, there's a node here, 2, 3, 4. I would prune it between node 3 and 4 here and on the other side and winterize it. And this one, I'm going to get about, let's say 20 cuttings. So here is some straw that I was given. What is this one? This one, I'm not sure. I have to look it up, but I don't think I have a tag for this one. But it did produce figs this year. And you see, this has a very nice shape. If you look at it, this has the champagne glass shape. The only thing I would do, I would take all of these smaller, can I zoom out? Yeah, I would take all of these smaller branches and cut them very, very tightly. So this guy, and these are very, very thin. I'm going to throw them in the compost. This one is thin also. That will go in the compost. But this one is a little bit thicker. I will try to root it. So this has the perfect shape for champagne glass, and difficult to see the nodes here, but I would cut it a little bit on this side, about a foot from the main trunk, all the way around. And this is my brown turkey, and first year tree, and this one has a nice shape, but I have to make some tough decisions here. So I would leave, I hope you can see, I would leave this branch and I would prune it about 20 inches from the trunk. I would leave this branch and prune it. I would prune this one between the third and the fourth node, same as that one. And this one is going to go, this one is going to become a cutting. I'm going to prune it right tightly, right by the trunk. So this is going to go tightly. This is going to get pruned halfway. This is going to get pruned tightly to the trunk, and these two are going to go third, fourth, or fifth node. Look at that. Thyme. I forgot this. I have to come back later and pick up the thyme and put it in the. Oh, my garlic bed. And what do I have here? This is my Chicago Hardy. This one, oh boy, was in an accident last year, and I almost lost it. It fell down and it split right by the right a little bit higher up from the rhizome, and I had to prune it drastically, and it looked terrible. So this is recovering from last year, but it did very well. So what I would do, you see this branch, let me go on the other side because the sun is hitting. See, this branch started growing nicely, but then came into, towards the middle. So I'm going to prune it right under there, and I'm going to have it grow in that direction to the right. That branch, that branch right there, that's going to get pruned tightly to the trunk. The other branch that's very nice, I'm going to prune it about a foot off the main trunk, and this one is going to go, at the fourth or fifth node, and hope for the best. And then I have a whole bunch of little ones that I'm growing for, but I'm going to put them out to stud. I'm going to use them for cuttings. What do we have here? This is this from the Fig Hunter. So, well, let's pretend that this is a much larger tree. So what I would do, this is a tough one, I would leave this branch, that branch, and I'm going to prune it right here. So that's option number one. Option number two is to prune this one and that one and just let this one grow. This is another Fig Hunter tree. Well, this has to get pruned tightly to the rhizome. I'm going to open up the doit, and I'm going to prune it tightly to the trunk, and then leave it open for a couple of days for it to harden up, and then put the dirt back in. And this one is an easy one. I'm going to get rid of this tiny little branch here. This is a nuisance, and that's it. This one, same thing. I'm going to leave it alone. This is way too young. I mean, too small. I'm just going to cut this one here, from the main trunk. Any other interesting ones here? This is what is this? This is a Cold de Dame Noir, the lady's butt. Well, this is a first year cutting that I grew. So this, I'm going to cut it 4 or 5 nodes higher up, and I'm going to gain 1 or 2 cuttings, maybe. But this is, then this one here, this is the first year cutting. What is this? Olympian. No. Oh, LSU Champagne. LSU Champagne. So, a couple of tiny branches. They're going to get sacrificed. This one, I'm going to open up a little hole here, cut it tight to the trunk, wait for it to dry up, the cut, and then a couple of days later push the dirt back in. But this is a waste. It has a nice structure, but what you can do, I would cut this one a little bit, this stubby here little thing. So the way it looks, this one, 1, 2, 3 branches, I'm going to cut them at the between the 4th and the 5th node. Okay, and I'm going to use my Ryobi. Yum. So I just wanted to give you an overview of what I'm going to do. so you have an idea. This is called the Dame Noir. I hope I pronounced it right. So 24. This was rooted this year. But these, I'm going to put them out to stud. You know, I'm going to keep them for cuttings. So that's it, folks. Slowly I'm working on the winterization and the final pruning of all my figgies. Of course, all in good health. Take care, everybody. So long.